I have a blockage in my colon the size of a grapefruit. Worst episode ever. When it comes to documentary makers, few could get away with series opening sentences quite as miserable, quite as overly intimate, quite as graphic as Anthony Bourdain's grisly, gravelly whinge that launches the 10th incarnation of Parts Unknown. He's trudging in snowshoes through excessively beautiful French alpine scenes, en route to the latest in a succession of unbelievably picturesque restaurants. He's moaning to his good friend, the 3-star Michelin chef and restaurateur Eric Rippett. And the blockage? Well, that's largely due to 3 days of cheese-laden, wine and cognac-drenched meals. In short, his protestation of worst episode ever contains all the attributes that go to make the best of Bourdain. There is, however, a terrible cloud over the start of Food TV's latest series of Parts Unknown. After all, it was Rippett himself who, in June, discovered Bourdain's body after the chef hanged himself in the bathroom of his 5-star hotel in the medieval northeastern French village of Kaysersberg. He was 61 and just 12 months and about 500 kilometers from where the bantering best mates filmed this glorious episode. That cloud can't help but seep retrospectively into his Parts Unknown voiceovers. The snowshoes are a death sentence, his lack of fitness a change from when he was a killing machine, his idea for an avalanche phone app called Find My Corpse, but Bourdain's suicide can't, and shouldn't, destroy the impact his TV shows made. Yes, since launching a Cook's tour in 2002, his shtick of food and tourism served on a bed of sardonic wit and blunt observation may have seemed small beans compared to longer-form journalistic documentaries and investigative, world-changing programs. But there's a reason he graduated in the US from the Food Network to CNN. He had a reporter's eye for detail and a subversive method of storytelling that elevated his shows way above the level of a Ramsay, Oliver or Lawson. Back in the Alps, this narrative flamboyance becomes a mix of art and artifice. There's a dream sequence featuring a bunch of Pawnee, yodeling mountaineers, a $1,000 bet over milking a cow, a doughy, mountainous steamed potato farcon featuring bacon and fruit, a 1966 Chateau Latour fine wine, the rules to surviving an avalanche, a plot between Rippett and his mentor, Chef Maurice Guilty, about poisoning Bourdain, foie gras, veal, truffles, asparagus, gnocchi, and a closing sequence which morphs into a B-movie trailer for a cookery horror film called 32 Yolks to Slaughter. Truth, Lies and Recipes. Bourdain makes a mockery of Alfred Hitchcock's pronouncement that, in feature films, the director is God. In documentary films, God is the director. He tumbles, whips and beats his thoughts and observations into a final recipe that simply won't conform to genre, and then happily puts on his furrowed frown and growls again. Worst episode ever. Another exploration of art and artifice this week comes from Ruben Östlund's Palme d'Or-winning film The Square, which takes a dark, satirical glare at the world of fine art and galleries. As well as being bold and entertaining, it's almost unbearably thought-provoking as a succession of characters find themselves entrapped in arguments about political correctness versus free speech, the usefulness, uselessness of artistic creativity, and the sheer offensiveness of comparing the high auction prices of contemporary art versus the value of a few coins to a homeless beggar. Yeah, it all seems a little heavy. But when you consider the film's titular exhibit, The Square, was born out of an actual installation which Östlund and producer Cal Bowman displayed in Val d'Alorum Museum in 2014, a neon-lit enclosure with a manifesto. The Square is a sanctuary of trust and caring. Within it we all share equal rights and obligations. There's a real feeling that The Square is aiming far higher than simplistic parody. The film's centerpiece, and reason alone to last the 151-minute running time, is an outrageous, wonderfully monstrous, 12-minute scene in which a shirtless performance artist terrorizes a glamorous roomful of wealthy Swedish arts patrons by acting like a wild chimpanzee. In much the same way, Östlund pummels the audience with his relentless exploration of base animal instincts and the fragility of human conventions. Anthony Bourdain. Parts unknown. Food TV, Fridays from August 10th at 9:30 p.m., The Square, Rialto Channel, Saturday, August 4th at 8:30 p.m. Your weekend promoted stories recommended by